All right, wanted to really quickly talk about a topic that I remember from the very beginning of starting it. So this is kind of for that beginner person, maybe for a person that hasn't even started yet. And it's talking about the first fears I had when I just had seen some videos, had understood that there's money to be made, and thought it was a great idea, something I can get into because of the low entry point and all that kind of stuff. But I had fears. I had fears about maybe being seen shopping in a thrift store. I know there's this connotation that shopping secondhand is maybe not anymore, not as much as before, but kind of when I was getting started, I felt that, and so I remember that first fear of that, feeling like, oh, I don't want to be seen walking into Goodwill or something like that. And then the next fear is, I really want to, this item might be worth something, I really want to scan it, but I don't want anybody in the store to know or figure out that I'm a reseller. That became the next one. And I don't want the employees to know, because they might judge me. They'll see me on a regular basis, see me come back, multiple times, and wonder what I'm doing. And another patron of the store might see me and give, wonder what is he looking up on his phone and all this kind of stuff. And so I remember thinking about all those kind of things, and what I would say to that now is that we all do what we do. And what I mean by that is that there's no real reason to be sketchy or feel anything about being able to pull 300% returns out of anything in life. If you can pull 300% returns, I don't care what you got to do it. That is great deals. And so that's point number one, is that people might have judgment, and I think we don't do it in professions. Like, nobody looks down on, I can't even think of a good profession, but for example, like a dentist. Nobody looks down on a dentist for saying, oh, you make your money going into people's mouths, that's really gross, that's dirty. Nobody says that, because that guy, they know what the kind of money that you can make doing that. If you got paid minimum wage to do that, then people might say something, but nobody cares. But for some reason, when it comes to reselling, I think we as people have fear that maybe we're gaming the system somehow, or that someone is going to judge us. And so all that to say, what I'd say to that is, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about things that don't matter, because no one is going to pay your bills. No one, those people that you think potentially are judging you, first of all, they're not. They don't care. Nobody cares about you that much that they're walking around a store and worried about you. If they're walking around Goodwill or Savings, they're worried about themselves. Guarantee. There's no question about that. The second thing, though, is that even if they did have a judgment, even if someone had the nerve to say something, I've never had that happen. I've never had anyone even ask politely what I was doing. But if that did happen, I would, that person is never ever gonna come out and say, hey, can I pay a bill for you? I prefer that you not shop in a thrift store, so can I just pay a bill instead? That's not gonna happen. So who cares what they think? It doesn't really matter. And then from there, I would just say, when it comes to employees, sometimes you want to get their attention. Sometimes I would love for the employees to ask me what I'm doing, so that I could very politely and specifically let them know that, hey, this is how I make my money. And I do have a couple of acquaintances that kind of figured out what I'm doing. They see me on a regular basis, and they'll give me tips. They'll tell me, hey, what, we just put out, we just put the DVDs out, or hey man, we just redid the men's clothing, so maybe check that out. And those tips are invaluable. They can make you $50 in a day, or 2 shirts that you wouldn't have got on a regular basis. It changes everything. So I would say, don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. It is who you are. You do what you do, and go ahead and get that money, man. Who cares? So that's my advice for that. And then the second advice I wanted to give the newest person was another mistake, or I don't know if it's a mistake, but it was something that I did early that I would do differently. So that is, when I first started scanning and sourcing and kind of judging the value of an item, I would really put heavy emphasis on how much profit I could make and what was the price, what can I sell it for. And that's important, don't get me wrong, it's a key factor. But more important than that to me now, after I've gained, you know, a year and a half of experience doing this, is the velocity. How fast is that thing gonna sell? That's more important than anything else, because what you want, or the game that we're playing is invest your money, get it back, and invest it again. That's the game. So there's times when I see items that they may not meet my profit parameters, but I've learned over time that they're gonna sell very quickly, and I'll buy them just because I know that I'm gonna have my money back in a couple of days and I can reinvest it in something that, you know, that can give me good profit. And so so thinking about that is important. I think early on all I cared about was price, and so I've got a lot of items from the old days that are high value, low demand items, and they sell. They call them long tails, you know, they sell, but it just takes a long time, and you end up getting so much inventory. And the game is not to hold inventory. The game, I always mention to my wife, you know, like, it's not about, you know, I'm not in this to collect DVDs, or I'm not in this to collect shirts. I'm in this to make money. And so, you know, if someone gives me a decent offer, I love offers, and I love counter offers, and that whole side of eBay. And I think that's one of the things that got me really excited about eBay, was auctions, offers, being able to make deals on the spot. Is just it's a cool deal. So yeah, that's the advice I have. Comments, questions, I will take them. If you guys, you know, think I'm totally off base, definitely I'd love to hear other opinions, because I've learned so much from YouTube communities, Facebook, all those kind of things. And I think that, you know, there's information out there, and different strategies that can help us all. So definitely would love to get some of those. But overall, thank you so much for watching, for checking in, and I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Aloha.